2 of designing PCB. So now I open this sheet. First I recommend, if you not watch previous videos and watch previous 2 videos, then watch this video, otherwise you cannot understand at all. So you can see there is some selection bar, so I can select size. This then ID is pre-fixed, so I not need to fix because my board ID is same ID 43.0 millimeter. So I change only wide because my board circuit board is longer, about 1 millimeter. Never change X or Y start X. These are default values by default values. Never change them. And there's a unit, and there's not also need to change 2-layer PCBs because I am made of this project as small as possible. So I made 2-layer. I made a single layer. That is, it needs a require of lots of jumpers. So that's why I'm double layer PCB, not a single layer PCB. Double layer and single layer PCBs cost the same, and this time you can set a border line. If you have made circle board, yeah, then you can make circle or round shape, round rectangular or custom, or in my case normal rectangular shape I'm selecting here. Now I'm save them, apply them, and both system there. Now if you can see there are components, which components I already choose them to design a circuit board. Now place the components one by one into the inside the board. This time we can start with LED. So now you can see, if you have seen there are two wire LED positive and negative is thrust into each other. So that's why I will place such a way it cannot short them. So I can put the space key to rotate the direction. Now you can see it is not thrust, positive and negative cannot thrust to each other. Now place setting LED. LED setting LED. Then after it's complete, your board once its board is complete, PCB is complete, you should change again parameters. You should change it, meaning size, because it is for, if you put a 2-bit size, then after you can realize that you are putting bit size, then you don't worry, this time you can also change them the size of the board. If board is longer size, bigger size, then you can convert it into small size. But if you are board already small size, that stage you cannot to need to make a range circuit, because once you place a component, then you can make board you will be shorter, then you make a then board's bigger size and then replace the component. So that's why first time put a large PCB, and then once its component alignment is complete, then you can increase the size. Now you can see it's will align that. This time you might be seeing it is quite difficult, but it is not difficult. If you are making first time, that is may confuse you, but it is not. Keep in mind, LED is placed in a proper way, proper numbering 1, 2, 3 and 4, not mismatch. For now I need a 5. This is a 5 number LED. So while putting the LEDs one by one, and then now you can see one layer positive is those directly there. Now what's placed, and then we proceed our main project. So you can see there are 6 number LED I will place right now, and this is all tools which you can need to make a PCB in there. If you like to make a more layer, like 3 layer or 4 layer, you will also make a 4 layer, because this time 4 layers is more costly than single layer or double layer. Now put a 7 number LED. 7 is placed. Last LED is place 7 number. Now place 8 number and then we 9 number and then 11 number, because 10 number 11 number LED is a 10 number LED, but this time they are a little bit number in 10 number, but it is not problem at all. You can see it's placed something like that. Lastly, there's not see no any LEDs is there, not there. Now put this one, last LED. Now place this LED in the end. In the end there. Once placed the LED, now put up both back little bit size smaller, because this time I place the LED in totally. Now what we can do, we can set the range size of the board. Keep in mind when adjusting the board size, this by this nodes, keep in mind these nodes are placed that way, other way your board is not a straight. It at the no place the main IC is there, middle of the circuit. Now this time you might see there are twice of jumpers there, so we can need to open them one by one. Now with this one jack, which is on just a open pin I am using here, so place it there, right there, and then we can see this pin wire is though somewhere down to this resistor. Now with this resistor to top world right there, this thing I need to press there, and now with this diode to need to be flipped, and then what we tend to do with it are this resistor 1 and place in here. It will not pass short them to. Now I put this jet, which is other jet. I also close these components to top world, because later we can. And I one thing more realize that I put in wrong number in there, because I put a 8 number, 9 number is missing. So what I tend to do, first place a 9 number LED and then continue. So what I tend to do, with this remaining LED, place top, place this LED in here. Now place this LED positive to positive side, and then place like that. Now place this node back to line properly without any curve, and then we place this jack in here, and then we place this capacitor with proper priority, proper wise, such like that. Now make sure there are two tracks jump to cross this pin number 1, and I mean this one and there. So what I tend to do, place center there, place like that. Replace back, because what I have to do project. Now put IC such like that, it will minimize the wires jump. So you can see the line out, minimize the jump. Now what I tend to do, now made a PCB. First in the top layer, Now you can this option you can see hide or unhide layer, which layer you can design, because if you are design one layer you can hide the layer, because this case it is easy to understand realize which layer is complete or which is not. But I not hide any layer right now. And this is a pencil tracer. Now put a pen, let me wait. Put a pencil tracer and draw a line in click here, and now you can see it disappear. Now start, because other layers disappear, because right now we are making. You can also select thickness of the wire in the upper zone or different thing, but I am use a standard 0.5 mm that, because it is a low voltage circuit. Which is, keep in mind these are double sided board, so that's why there are, you may be seen different lines to light to each other, but it is not, because some lines is showing painting one side of a PCB and some is painting other side of a PCB, so it not matter, so it will not short to one and over. Start top layer, select top layer, and then first I tell tools. This is a wire that this is a through all, this is a pad, this is a through all, and this is a text. If you put your name into your circuit board, and this is for image painter, and this is a top, there is a topper, trace topper area, because to make your PCB look good. Now what we can to do, we put this top layer and then trace this trace and then place click there, and then continue start our building process. Just click there and then maybe see it's the line. This positive line, this top side I also use as a positive, because it is easy to understand positive term, so that's why I use positive line as a to top. I use positive terminal turn to this that turn to positive line. It is also indicate priority as well as the layer. This time, well, join the line. Keep in mind this will join each other, because when if there is a tiny little gap, or if you not join there, this time if you are ordering the PCB company can knows PCB machines can track these wires and then make them somewhere a tiny little gap, it will mistake them. So what I can do with, and same process need, put the wire tractor and put there. Let's start with this pin, and there, and then we pass through there. Keep in mind it will join to each other, and then with this positive to there. Now with the same process with all positive sides or top side, and then then I will choose as this time. You can also, if you like to top layer bottom design this positive layer in bottom layer, you should use bottom layer, but I'm use that layer top layer, because top layer is available in that, so I easily understand, or positive also just easy to make it easy and proper wiring, so that's why I use that, which means top folder top side is for positive choosing. Now you can see it's joined completely there. Keep in mind there's no any gap left, which later made a designing issue. Now what we can to do with blue one, and once blue put an R that is disappear. Now we put a remain to join them. And so what I can do, click there, and then click automatically. It made a thread like that. Now put setting one, which if though there, this time I'm use this one is that because I'm in top layer one, so because this time we not applied the bottom or two lines to the same time, so that's why I use different sides wire. Let me start there, because this time you might be see I am too closing them, but it is not short. Later it made a short circuit because this red side is one side of the PCB and blue side is other side of the PCB. So there are, no matter which way it goes. Now what we tend to do, we place the remaining one. Remaining is one that is though there. So I arrange with the red top layer wire to there. Let me click the wire here. Wire pole. It will, let me click it there and then put there. Now it's draw line. Now what I tend to do, it's this time I pass this thing to a top side because it is not aligned with any other pin. Now you can see it's almost. I'll put a blue one, and this time I put this blue wire and blue trace this point. I did not this point, so blue point I put with this point right here, and place it here. Once it's complete, now I also save them. And now what we can do, we can draw this time I use blue line, bottom line to draw this remaining. This time you might be see bottom and top layer will be touched together, because it is not problem, because this time the bottom layer and top layer are separated together, because bottom layer is one side and top layer is another side. Now this layer will come across there, blue. Now start this one. This time you may see the blue line is already present. So now I put a red one to draw this line, because this side is the other side of then other top side that with it not charged with bottom side. So that's why I'm using different ways. Now you can see this remaining. There's a twice of remaining that is left, which I can do later. It's used. Now I put